I suppose you all are starting to figure out why these are one of my favorite teams over here. I think you guys have been with us since Miami, right? Yeah, so the second ever Hacker House met these guys. They were a little underdressed then, but they've upped their game. What's also really cool about this team and the other teams in Montreal is they've actually combined together to trade skill sets, you know, like a little front-end development, a little back-end development. If you're interested in joining that kind of thing, they actually have a functioning organization that does that. Anyway, without further ado, the Ladder Caster team. I thought you guys were magic, you don't need mics.
Yeah, we project. Project spell. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the magical world of ladder casters. So we decided to get dressed up today because we originally wanted to launch, but then we realized we were doing a bunch of kind of game-breaking stuff, and so we needed a little bit more time. So, hello and welcome to our crazy, wacky world that Jordan has just introduced you to. And Jordan, thank you very much for last night. I can barely speak, and I don't know what's going on right now. Okay. So, Laddercaster is essentially our idea of how we would actually like to see a game actually be built before anything else on blockchain. So, we did not do any pre-release NFTs, no pre-release IDO. It's just a game. We're building a game on chain, and we're doing a bunch of really crazy stuff along the way. And so, right now, we're going to introduce you to a few of the interesting principles because we know that a lot of you are very technical. So, we're going to go through just kind of like a high-level overview, and then we're going to tell you a little bit more about some of the technical pieces that are really interesting.
Yeah, so as you can see, we plan to launch in 13 days from now. That's countdown where day one happens and everybody gets access to the game. It's also a countdown to stress our devs out a little bit more. And the main things that we want to highlight here is that building one of the first decentralized games is hard, and we had to run up against a few challenges, and we had to overcome them. Some of those are creating dynamically minted NFTs, full on-chain randomization, and then as well as working with Serum, without documentation, to build essentially a token splitter program that might end up being used by Holoflex as well. And I'll let Aiden talk a little more about the tokens.
Yeah, so our token structure, the idea is we kind of thought that a lot of the pre-release IDOs and the way that people were raising for their projects, we didn't think was kind of a very decentralized model, and we didn't think it was very representative of what the community wanted. So we've been playing games together. Calvin's my cousin, we're cousins, you can see the relation, obviously. Because we're both wearing hats, obviously. Yeah, we have stats. But yeah, so we've been playing games together forever, and we've always tried to find new ways to actually break the games. Anytime there was a market economy in the game, it was our favorite thing. But one of the things that we started noticing in all of these communities, in our professional gamer communities, was there was a real serious sentiment around the way that things were being built on chain, and they weren't very representative of what the community wanted. So one thing we decided to do was smash our heads against the wall and try to raise, with a unique tokenomic structure, what we call our fixed step orders, which is what the Serum order book sales are. So the idea here is that we take our tokens, we took 25% of our entire supply, we've locked that for team and investors, and instead of us actually getting the tokens, we're selling at predetermined prices in the Serum order book. So we're actually selling at 100 limit orders, at 1 cent, at 2 cents, at 3 cents, so 2.5 million tokens sell at each increment, and so the idea being it's extremely transparent for the community, everybody knows what we're selling at in advance, there's no way we can crash the order book, and it's also duly incentive for us to actually build the game up to be successful, so it's not like we can just kind of dump and run in any scenario, so it's really like it's incentive on both sides. It's become a very unique challenge from a raising standpoint, which is why we have a much lower valuation, because we actually have like a much smaller team that we're kind of, as we mentioned, doing a bunch of steal swap stuff, so it kind of breaks even. But the whole point being that we really want to be extremely transparent with what kind of funding we had, how we had it, and also that we don't ever hold any governance tokens. So we start at the exact level playing field with everybody. So we'll show you a little bit about the game, and then we'll get into more of the specific mechanics. So as Calvin will run you through a little bit here, this is our first UI, and the idea of ladder caster is essentially, in the world of Magic, where spellcasters reign supreme, the Grand Oracle Majula, the Oracle of Space and Time, has gone missing. And so now you're transported to a 2D board, and time is broken up into 20-minute turns and 28-day seasons. 28-day seasons. So every 4 weeks, we have a new season, and the idea is that along the way, everybody in the community will vote on ranges of rules to change from season to season. So you're going to get a drastically different game pretty much every season, based on what the community votes on and what we want to move forward. But we always give ranges of rules so that we don't ever exhaust ourselves by trying to do something completely out of bounds. And so essentially the way that this game works is, as you can see Colin clicking through, you mint a spellcaster, that's the thing that you mint, and once you have that NFT spellcaster, you can then equip a bunch of items, and as you move through the board, you collect resources, and it's like a resource aggregation game. You're playing with all these different, kind of Settlers of Catan mechanics, mixed in with like a RuneScape Grand Exchange because there's a player-to-player market, and so you can trade everything on-chain. And the idea is we're also, I'll let Colin get into more of the specifics, with the wallet connection, okay?
Yeah, so the idea here is that we're launching an MVP on mainnet as fast as possible, and that means that we're really releasing an alpha version even. And the goal here is for us to create a game where it's fully decentralized, governed by a DAO, and the community gets to make any rule changes between seasons, and even helps us build the game in a better way, because of course we don't know, everybody has their own opinions, and so we don't know the exact best way to change rules or to make tweaks, and so we let everybody vote on just about everything. And here, we're just going to demo some of the Wallet Connect features, and this is because we really wanted to make sure that the UI was simple for people who aren't necessarily in crypto, and for that we're relying on Taurus as the main way of connecting. As you can see here, this is the same sign-up process for signing up or signing in. It should be as easy as just one click sign in with Google, and that's for most people who don't have any kind of cryptocurrency wallet. And then, and so here we actually don't have the UI for it yet. As you can see, we really are just building in real time. But console log, there we go. You're connected to Taurus. And then when it comes to Phantom, oh, okay, well, he already did Phantom, but you get the idea. We have 3 options. We have the Taurus wallet, we have Phantom, and we even have a burner wallet, which isn't necessarily safe, but it makes it easier to play the game because you have auto signing guaranteed. Because nobody wants to be playing a game where they're constantly switching into another app. It gets kind of annoying. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
And we've got no time left, so I just wanted to kind of throw in some fun artwork here. Voila, here are our beta season NFTs, and there are multiple combinations. So essentially there's different rarities, there's different tiers of items, all kinds of different attributes to them. So we have like 200,000 possible combinations on our week, which is super fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Wow, that's good. Thank you so much, guys.